This is Arts Alive. I'm Lynda Philippi. My guest today is Allan Garry, and Allan is a local musician who's here to talk about his latest CD. Welcome.
Hi, how are you?
I'm just fine.
Good. Good to be here.
I'm glad you could be here today.
Yeah.
I am really excited to learn more about you and the kind of music that you do.
Right. Well, the band that I put together was a blues band. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to kind of bring the band out with the material that I had written and have them play around different kind of lyrical content, maybe something a little bit more meaningful than, you know, she left me and didn't pay the electric bill, you know.
Right.
And so there's some social commentary, there's the interpersonal relationship stuff that's on there too, and then there's just sort of some spiritual aspects to it. But for sure, it's the kind of stuff that you can listen to and kind of bounce around your kitchen with and dance to and have some fun. It doesn't take itself too seriously, but it is a lot of fun, and it's good dancing music.
So tell me a little bit about yourself and your background. How did you get involved in music?
Well, I started out a long time ago going to the San Francisco School of Theater Arts.
Okay.
I wanted to become a movie star. That was my dream.
Ah.
And so but I started experimenting with music videos. This was the early 70s, and there really wasn't much going on in that area.
Old school!
Yeah, pretty much. But we had a video camera at the drama school that I went to, and so we started working with that. And we did a lot with improvisational theater, but I found myself getting more into singing, and I picked up the guitar at that time, and so that kind of mushroomed out into a musical career for me, which meant recording, but much later down the road. Mostly what I did was I played a lot of different venues, the usual bar setups, and I did a lot of the bar band thing for a number of years.
The Bay Area bar scene.
Briefly, and then we went to LA,
Okay.
and from LA, went to Florida. And Florida, I spent a lot of time on up and down what they call the Redneck Riviera, which is the area between Tallahassee and Panama City. And it's a fun place to play.
Refining your style.
Yeah, something along those lines.
Okay.
But it was a lot of fun because it's a party atmosphere. Panama City, St. George Island, played a lot there. And it's just beautiful setting and a lot of fun. Party time. But that kind of tires out after a number of years, and you're ready to do something else. So I wanted to do a CD, but I didn't get the big record contracts. So for me, it was about producing my own CD and financing it all myself and doing the whole thing on my own. And I got some guys together, and sure enough, they could play their instruments, which was key. And we had a lot of fun recording, and we did a great job. We had a great recording studio from the heart in Sop Choppy, Florida. Are you ready for Sop Choppy?
Sop Choppy, okay.
Sop Choppy, yeah. But a great recording technician, and we just had a ball doing it, and we hope people go out and buy it. That's the thrust of it.
Okay, and it's called the Candy Kitchen Blues Band.
Yeah.
A Blue Point of View. So
correct.
Tell me a little bit about the Candy Kitchen.
Well, the Candy Kitchen is a building that was built in 1875, and it was actually a pay station. Originally, and people worked on the waterfront in Apalachicola, Florida. Apalachicola.
Okay.
And they worked on the waterfront, and they got paid out of this particular building. And they paid at that time in these wooden coin kind of things. I don't know if you've ever seen anything like it, but it's, you know, back in the 1800s, that's what they used.
That's
it's
just
like
a little bit before my time.
Company, yeah, right. It wasn't my time either, but it was company store money. So you could buy at the
like
company
scrip
store.
Or whatever they call
yeah,
it.
Something like that. Anyway, so I started an antique and collectible business in that particular building.
Okay.
And it had one time been a candy store, it was an ice cream parlor, it was a house of ill repute, it was a bar room. And people would come in there and tell me stories about when they were kids and came in and bought penny candy and stuff like that. And I eventually bought the building and took it out to a lot and turned it into a home. And,
yeah, moved it.
Yeah, I did.
Picked it up and moved it.
Picked it up and moved it 5.5 miles.
Wow.
Yeah, 2-story building.
Okay.
Anyways, that was quite an accomplishment. But the band rehearsed there, and that was why the Candy Kitchen thing.
Now, the musicians that are on this album, are they mostly musicians from the Florida area?
They are.
Okay.
Yeah. What happened is that I had a lead guitar player who became very ill. He had colon cancer, and he passed away. And so I dedicated the album to him, and we gave all the money from our CD release party, which we raised, I think, about $15,000,
Wow.
and all went to hospice, because they were such a great help to Steve.
Yeah.
And you know, they really came through when it was needed for medication, and helped out with a lot of different aspects of a very difficult process.
You know, one of the things I've noticed is that people are very willing to give when it's for hospice, because that touches almost everybody's life
It
at
does.
some point.
Yeah, everybody's
so-
had some kind of an experience with hospice. And for me, it was a very positive experience, because everybody was struggling with how to deal with going to get the medications, how to, you know, just a lot of different issues. So that you know, there's no way you can plan for this kind of stuff.
Nope.
It just happens. And he had beaten cancer once, small cell cancer, and very few people had ever done that. But this second time around, they opened him up, and there was nothing they could do. He was too far gone. But he was such
So truly, this CD is about his last project. I mean, that was the last thing he did.
Well, he actually participated in performing some of the songs, but that was way before.
Okay.
This band didn't include him because, well, we dedicated the album to him.
I see,
Yeah,
okay.
Steve had already passed away.
Okay.
So when we had the CD release party,
You brought it back in, right?
Well, yeah. But the whole idea was is that we would benefit hospice, and the proceeds would go to them. We had a beautiful meal, and everybody paid. I can't remember how much the tickets were. I guess we don't talk about how much around here anyway. So.
Exactly.
But the point was,
It's a love offering.
Yeah. The point was is we were able to raise like
Good.
$15,000.
That's amazing.
So it was
That's
great.
really
Yeah.
amazing. And so moving forward from that, you recorded, you relocated, obviously,
Right.
to the beautiful, bustling metropolis of McMinnville,
McMinnville, yes, indeed.
Oregon.
Beautiful.
And it is beautiful.
Yeah.
And now you're working to,
Put together another band.
okay, so you're working on a new band, right?
Yep, and because I'm going back into the studio again, and
Have
I'm
you
going to
written a
record
bunch of
another
new
album. Yeah,
new
I got
stuff?
lots of new material.
Okay.
No shortage of material.
All right.
But this is an interesting kind of a focus for me, because what I'm doing is this next album is going to be a much more spiritually oriented album.
Okay.
And that's where this one's going. And I've always wanted to do this particular kind of album, and you know, if not now, when? And so
Of course.
now.
You know, I think the thing is, being a songwriter, it's like, you know, being a poet or any other kind of writer or artist. What's in you has to come out. So if
Right.
spirituality is the direction you're moving in, maybe you got the didn't pay the electric bill songs out of your system, and now you're ready to move into something
Something
else.
like that.
Yeah.
I actually saw a Broadway show years ago, and in the show, the first part of the show was all in a barroom setting, kind of a juke joint, if you will. And then the second half of the show, they came out in full gospel attire, and it was knockout, because there was this whole transition that took place. And that's kind of how I envision. It's kind of a metaphor for where I'm going with this next CD. Is, you know, like they say, Aretha Franklin can't sing from the kind of pain that she did once, because she doesn't have that kind of pain anymore.
Exactly.
You know?
It's hard to get that kind of pain in the back of a limo.
Right, something along those lines. Plus, she's sort of grown as a person.
Sure, of course.
And she's a different person than she was once. So, at any rate, that's the idea. Is it's a transformation. It's a transcendent kind of a thing, to go from sort of the back alley blues to the more spiritually oriented material. But it's still a lot of fun, the music itself, and lyrically, it's still challenge for me, because I really pride myself on my lyrics. Wordcraft is something I really, really enjoy. I love words. And if you're a songwriter, that helps.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah, because you want to say as much as you can without saying too much. So it's economy.
Right.
And editing. Everybody knows about editing. You
Of
know,
course.
It's really important.
Of course. So now you're going to be coming here back into this studio
Yep.
and strictly recording some music
Yes.
at some point. And it's really difficult to do live performance and an interview in the same segment. So I hope that people will really watch for that. And in the meantime, where can they purchase the CD locally?
This CD, and we hope you go out and get it,
Sure.
is available at 608 Northeast Highway 99 in McMinnville at CHW Guitars. These people have been wonderful to me since I've been in town. They really treat me well, and they're very professional, and they have great products and good services, including lessons. And I went back to school when I was 50 to study theory and composition, because
Did you?
education is important.
Right.
You know, and it helps. It helps a lot. It helped my songwriting. And if you need a haircut, open 7 days a week, you can go to Bradford Barbershop. and you can pick one up at the Bradford Barber Shop.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah, so on both sides of town, you can buy the album, buy the CD. I'm still on albums. For me, they're still records.
Yeah, right.
You know, it's like
Exactly.
the album. But anyway, yeah, you can get it at any one of those locations, and please do. And avail yourself of the other services that are available from these local merchants, because they are nice enough to display my CD and sell it, and also treat me pretty well when I come in for services. So
let's
do the
talk.
same.
Let's talk a little bit about the band that you're putting together with local musicians. Are they Yamhill County people or?
Yeah, they
Portland,
will
or?
be. They'll be local people.
Okay.
Now, some of them do travel around a bit, but they are local people. And the personnel isn't set yet, so I'm not going to give it up.
Oh, no.
But I think there'll be some people that you're familiar with, that the community is familiar with. Also, some of the people that are doing the recording, the studio that I'm working in and so forth and so on, are familiar to most folks. So
I mean, that's a great way too to get involved in a new community. Obviously, is just to kind of jump in and meet people and the field you're in.
Right.
Because otherwise, sitting home writing lyrics can be, I would think, a little limiting.
Well, it would be. And you know, I was actually in the coffee shop. What is it? Something Stone Coffee. What is it?
Cornerstone.
Cornerstone Coffee. That's it. Anyways, I was in there having a cup of coffee, and a guy came in and sat down at the piano and just started fiddling around.
nice.
And I was in the middle of writing a song, and it just so happens he was doing a kind of a lyrical progression that worked for where I was at writing. And he had just walked in off the street. I got talking to him, and he happens to be a world-renowned pianist and musician. And I talked to him a little bit, and I'm going to be recording in his studio, but I'm not going to give it up who it is, but he's really good. He's a really good pianist and a lot of fun to work with.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you had that serendipitous meeting.
There you go. Serendipity.
Yeah.
It was important. It was an important little meeting, and I pay attention to those kind of things because
Sure.
opportunities show up. You got to avail yourself of them.
Exactly. Part of it's just putting yourself out there and being in the right frame of mind and expecting them to happen.
Right. Well, I'm open, and my intention is to put together, you know, a really, really top-flight band. You know, I always say the good is the enemy of the best. Maybe my last band was good, but this one will be the best.
Okay, and you're a singer as well.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that was kind of when I was talking about the theater background that I had. My voice was something I had to work with a lot, because when you go to an audition doing theater, they want to hear you sing, because there might be some musical parts. So
Belt out one of those Broadway tunes.
yeah, I think I sang a Supreme song or something on a few auditions. You know,
Perfect.
whatever worked. You know,
Exactly.
Keep Me Hanging On. That was one of my great audition songs. Yeah, I sang the hell out of that one. So yeah, Keep Me Hanging On. Anyway,
I love it.
Yeah, that's the ticket. I love to sing, and it's an enjoyable pastime for me. Plus, it became my profession.
Well, Allan, I really want to thank you for coming in today, and
Thank you for having me.
I'm looking forward to hearing your studio work when you come in and play.
I'm
and
excited
sing,
about
and
it.
it's
You know,
gonna
it'll
be
be
great.
kind of first time really performing for
a
the
while.
community here. And yeah, because I've had some recent surgeries and stuff that have kept me from performing. So
Sure.
I'm kind of coming back out on the stage again. It's going to be fun for me. And I hope people tune in and enjoy it as well.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.